Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 gameplay cast with me, Thendis32. Let's get that up a little bit. With me here today I have the Gera Cup Finals that I live casted on August 23rd, 2015. And I'm going to recast them and re-upload them for those who missed it. So let us introduce our players. Spawning as the Blue Night Elf, it is WarchieffRich. And his opponent, spawning as the Red Human, it is Hawk. Night Elf versus Human here on Death Road. Now, before I get ahead in this cast, I'm going to warn you, Death Road is not one of my more well-known maps, as Hawk's sending on an early malicious scout to deal with the Ancient of War creep, as on Death Road, Night Elves put down the Ancient of War here, because if you kill the Skeletal Marksman and the Burning Archer, you can get a rune to drop, which gives you a permanent unit. One with Searing Arrow, and the other one with Frost Arrow. Pretty nice thing to have early on. Now Hawk, pulling back the creeps, doing some damage on the Ancient of War, not enough to force it to cancel, as the creeps do run away. As we do see a Warden as the first hero choice for WarchieffRich, and a Mountain King for Hawk. So we might see some bolt dodges, some fun aggressive game here. On this map, human players can also militia creep their spot, and they have the same thing. Two skeletons in the back, one with Searing Arrow, the other one with Frost Arrow. Pretty nice skeletons to have. I personally have this map vetoed. I don't think it's that great for Undead, but I could be wrong. As you all know, I'm not the most informative of the game. Sorry about that. Alright, so Warden first out of WarchieffRich. This could make him want to be aggressive. And there's nothing wrong with an aggressive Night Elf compared to a Demon Hunter game where you're a little more passive with the Demon Hunter. You creep him out, you know, try to get the higher level. You can be a little bit aggressive with him, but not enough to... Well, basically not Warden aggressive. It's not much, I guess Blade Master really, but not much can be more aggressive than the Warden. As WarchieffRich is starting out the creeps, two wisps pulled to repair the Ancient of War, as it is close to some trees it could possibly eat. And as long as the Ancient of War does not kill anything, or that Footman, full experience will go to the Warden. Alright, WarchieffRich with the Frost Skeleton. Oh, Hawk coming in with the Mountain King. Looks like he wants to get a creep check early on in the game. Stormbolt onto the wisp. Does get taken out. WarchieffRich going for it. Will Hawk get another skeleton? No, he won't, but a Shadow Strike will go down onto the Mountain King. And Hawk, Stormbolt onto the Archer. WarchieffRich with both the skeletal minions. Archer goes down, but another Shadow Strike onto the Mountain King, who has another Stormbolt. And I think he's trying to get it on that skeletal minion. Because if you could definitely get that Frost Arrow out of the way, that'd be pretty nice. As Frost Arrow is a really nice ability after the start, but the creeps get ticked off. Missed micro by Warchief. Mountain King Stormbolt will get the kill. A little bit of a micro mistake out of Warchief. He still has the Searing Arrow skeleton, but most of the time you'd rather have Frost Arrow than Searing Arrow due to its slow ability.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, Skeleton Minions still attacking the Ancient of War, producing more archers. Still no tech out of Hawk. WarchieffRich has started his tech up to tier 2 though. And Dispel going down by the Wisp. And keep in mind, WarchieffRich qualifying for WCA, he's probably been practicing quite a bit. Especially versus human. For those of you that don't know about the Asian scene, there's a lot of humans in it. As this nice use of the Burning Archer, canceling the Healing Scroll and the Clarity Potion of Hawk. This militia is actually being pulled, and a lumber mill going down, and it looks like WarchieffRich will be... not WarchieffRich. Hawk will be going for the fast expansion. Now, WarchieffRich did see the militia being pulled, so he does know this is more than likely going to be happening. Does he start a counter expansion? He starts a Hunter's Hall and pulls a Wisp. I think he will be doing a counter expansion. When your opponent goes for an expansion, most of the time human early expansion, you have two options really. You make an expansion of your own, or you try to do so much pressure that you deal a lot of damage to your opponent's expansion. Is WarchieffRich gonna be doing the expo? That Wisp is gonna be doing something. There it is. WarchieffRich will be doing a counter expansion. And a nice spot, might I add. Not likely a spot to be scouted. Poor villager and kid. They're probably like, Daddy, what just spawned ahead of us? As the Warden jumps in. Gets just. Oh, Warden actually surrounded. Dust of Appearance. Uses Blink. Steals the Ring of Regeneration. Another Stormbolt goes out. Mountain King has plenty more in him. The Warden does not have Blink left, as it does cost 50 mana apiece at level 1. Will the Mountain King get another Stormbolt? The Warden still does not have enough mana. Stormbolt going down on the Burning Archer instead. Oh, and the bash. That skeleton will go down. Mountain King using a Clarity Potion. Gives him enough mana for one more Stormbolt. Can the Warden Blink dodge it? WarchieffRich is waiting for that moment. He's even trying to bait it out, putting his Warden. There it is. Oh, misses the Blink dodge, actually. Oh, and the bash! Oh, that was close, but the Warden does manage to slip out with the Blink. Very nice by WarchieffRich. So Archer actually gets caught out and goes down. Alright. Panda Brewmaster will be the second hero choice for WarchieffRich. He's getting blocked up by those dogs.
A player's forces are
Woof.
under attack.
Alright. Hawk's gonna creep. This camp should give him level 3, and having level 2 Stormbolt would be very, very painful for WarchieffRich. Yeah, he will get level 3 off of this. There it is. And Panda's pretty good, especially versus human if he goes casters, as Breath of Fire just shreds through the human casters. It just depends. Oh, but WarchieffRich using the Ancient Ward to creep again. Hawk does see it. Stormbolt going down under the Warden. Breath of Fire going down. Mountain King is out of bolts though. As the Shadow Strike goes on to him. It is almost daytime, so the Ward can't Shadow Meld. Even if she did, the Mountain King does have another charge of dust. Ancient Ward goes down by the creeps. That was a pretty successful creep jack by Hawk, even though he didn't steal any kills. So the expansion is on the way. One guard tower up with an arcane tower on the way. So gotta keep my eye out for when Hawk does decide to start his tech up to tier 2. Meanwhile, the expansion for WarchieffRich slowly walking its way over to the gold mine. Hawks continue to be aggressive. Mountain King almost actually got a bash, I believe. Oh, as we do see Dryads, as we do see the double Ancients of Lore. Still no tech up to tier 3 quite yet. Tech to tier 3 is just a little bit delayed due to that expansion. Those Dryads have full reign over the Footmen as they are magic immune, so of course the Mountain King cannot Stormbolt them. Alright, Tree of Life gonna take some shots as WarchieffRich creeps out the gold mine camp. Yes, the Footman goes down due to this little Dryad strike force. Pendant of Energy, holy crap. That is one of the best items a Warden could get. It's a very nice item. Alright, Tree Life rooting itself and producing some wisps onto the Entangled Gold Mine. Hawk still has no clue about this expansion. At all. So this is going to be pretty nice if WarchieffRich can get away with this. As the defend on the Footman shot one of the Dryad arrows onto her, giving her the Dryad poison. How embarrassing is that if you get affected by your own poison? Alright, Hawk's hanging around. Warden has plenty of Shadow Strikes. As I'm pretty sure WarchieffRich did pick level 2 Shadow Strike. Alright. Mountain King hanging about with the little Footman strike force. Seeing that WarchieffRich's army is kind of hanging around this area should give Hawk the information that there is an expansion there. So we do see WarchieffRich a little bit over halfway to tier 3 as Hawk is almost at tier 2, and the question is, what will the second hero be? Blood Mage is really sweet versus Warden, but if you're gonna go human caster army without the Brilliance Aura from the Archmage, it's kinda hard. So sometimes human players will get an Archmage second as the Stormbolt goes down onto the Panda Brewmaster, but he does get rejuvenated by the Druid of the Claw. So anyway, gotta pay attention to what the second hero choice will be for Hawk as another Shadow Strike goes onto the Mountain King. He does have a TP, should he try to use it as he does Stormbolt the Druid of Claw and TP's out. Did not want to risk it, as the Warden did have another Shadow Strike. The Pendant of Energy was actually switched over to the Panda.
Player's forces are under attack.
Wasn't sure if it would be better on her or not, as, ooh. Tier 3 on the way for Hawk with a Paladin as the second hero choice. Tier 3 opens up two different tech routes, really, for the human player. He can either go tanks and try to slowly siege away at the Night Elf base, or he can go for air, Dragonhawks, Griffin Riders, all the good stuff. So we do see an Ancient of Wind on the way, so WarchieffRich can of course get some Fairy Dragons in case it would be casters. Not sure if... no, WarchieffRich hasn't scouted anything in Hawk space. He does now see that Tier 3 is on the way, and this should help him know what's happening here. He knows the Night Elf counter versus tanks is to build a bunch of Ancients of War and surround their base. And surround the Tree of Life with the Ancient of War. Alright, WarchieffRich scouts the Tier 3, scouts the workshops on the way. It is most definitely going to be tanks, as the Warden getting caught in quite a bad position. So I'm lagging on OBS. Not sure why.
A player's forces are under attack.
Sorry about that. Meanwhile, of an engagement though, Breath of Fire not going down as it was a Stormbolt on the Druid of Claw, who was Stafford preservated. Stafford preservated. Lol. Alright, Holy Light going down onto the Footman. Shadow Strike onto the Paladin. He's not level 2, so no Divine Shield. Is the Mountain King gonna use a Clarity Potion? Oh, that Paladin's gotta be so careful. Warden does not have another Shadow Strike. Holy Light going down under the Mountain King. Stormbolt taking out what I believe was a Burning Skeleton. And another Breath of Fire going down. But the Warden going after the Paladin. Will she get him? She does get him, but I believe the Warden is stuck. Forced the Shadow Meld, but Hawk with that one charge of dust. And the Warden is stuck. She can't blink away, but the Staff of Preservation will save her. Nice play by WarchieffRich. Alright. Panda hanging around, does get bashed. Might want to back off, though.
A player's forces are under
You
attack.
see many Ancients of War being put down by WarchieffRich. He is preparing for these tanks, which are on the way. The Warden does come back. Rejuvenation onto the Panda Brewmaster. So with these tanks on the way and two Griffin Aviaries, so maybe Hawk might make a transition into Griffins and Dragonhawks. Want a Mana Stealing. Next, actually not that bad of an item as it's used onto the Mountain King. Didn't give enough for the Warden. Holy Light onto the Mountain King. Warden so close to having her Shadow Strike. Could have killed him actually if she had enough mana. It's more and more Ancients of War going down here. WarchieffRich preparing for these tanks. Where are the tanks? There's one. There's two on the way, as we do see Knights also. And the Animal Ward Training, giving increased health to units such as Knights, Griffins, and Dragonhawks. Where's those other tanks?
Player's forces are under attack.
Not sure if WarchieffRich scouted the Griffin Aviaries. No, he didn't. I almost said she, because I've been thinking of the Warden. Anyway, WarchieffRich creeping at the mercenary camp. I cannot see what mercs are available in it due to the replay system. So we do have one tank in. Ancients of War uprooting. They're going a little bit faster, so we did get the Nature's Blessing upgrade as we have towers on the way. And I believe Hawk will be going for another expansion. Yes, with the militia, that does confirm my belief. Ah, the item drops from you. Let's see, Bears. It's currently 51 supply for WarchieffRich versus 54 of Hawk. As Hawk is slowly killing this Elder Shaman. Very, very slowly. Talisman in the Wild, not the greatest items. Lets him be able to summon some furbolgs, but they can quickly be abolished by Dryads. If... Whoa, we even see Druids of the Town. I guess their Fairy Fire could be well for tanks, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess there's strategy. I don't see any more Dryads, though. Not sure if WarchieffRich lost them all. Does WarchieffRich know about this expo? He does not. It's the Warden getting storm bolted. Does see that it's air. The Warden taking loads of damage here. Lucky her, the Mountain King did not have any mana. She will be rejuvenated back to healthy health. So we do see Hippogriffs on the way to deal with those air units. And another Ancient of Wind, so he's able to produce Hippogriffs even more quickly. Upgrade-wise, it's currently 0-0 for Griffins, and 2-0 for tanks versus 0-0. So Hawk with more upgrades here at the moment. Alright, plenty of towers there to defend the expansion. Looks like WarchieffRich might want to creep out the red spot, see what super duper item he gets from the Maiden of Pain. But Hawk is hanging around, and a shot being placed immediately gets cancelled. And WarchieffRich wisely not starting to creep, so with Hawk being around, that could be some game-ending. That could be a game-ending mistake. Let me use proper English here as Shadow Strike goes down onto the Griffin Rider, but he does get Holy Lighted. Long range Stormbolt onto a Hippogriff. WarchieffRich now getting +1 attack. As we see a lone tank just standing there, doing nothing. Alright, Warden continue to be aggressive. Stormbolt onto her. And she's taking a lot of damage, but blinks right out. More than likely it'll be rejuvenated. There it is. Right in the moment, it's currently 71 supply for WarchieffRich versus 75 of Hawk, who's going in for the creep check. Alright, there's some Dragon Riders here as they do entangle the Hippogriffs with their ensnare ability. Staff of Sanctuary saving one of the Dragon Riders. Paladin using Divine Shield. And these bears are going down fast. But there's plenty of Hippogriffs here as the Breath of Fire and Drunken Haze onto the Griffins, giving the Panda level 4. I believe that fight went a little bit better for WarchieffRich. Who is he building another? Oh, we actually see Chimeras, however you want to pronounce them, are on the way. And a second expansion for WarchieffRich. It's gonna take that Tree of Life a little bit of time to walk down this gold mine. Oh, his Hawk's creeping out. No, WarchieffRich creeping out the red spot, but Hawk remaining around. Did the Maiden of Pain die? No, she didn't. So the super duper item has not been dropped. Ooh, silence going down. That's a bit annoying from the vile tormentor. Ooh, who did give level 4 to the Mountain King? Not bad.
Forces are under attack.
Fountain of Power, for those of you that don't know, give you both health and mana at the same time. It's a pretty imbalanced well. And WarchieffRich could use it very wisely for a fight here and use it to slowly siege down at Hawk's second base. As the main gold mines are starting to run a bit low. WarchieffRich, the Maiden of Pain, the only creep. She is alone and she does drop the item. Who will get the item? That is the question. Roar going down by WarchieffRich. This means he might want to go in for a fight. Oh, and the Dragonhawk's coming in to the Maiden of Pain, who actually knows Shadow Strike, surprisingly enough. Alright, Shadow Strike going down on what do I believe was a Griffin. It's WarchieffRich TPing out, so it looks like Hawk will get the item, which was Khadgar's health gem.
Players' forces are under attack.
It's WarchieffRich TPs to his second expansion to creep it out. Nice use of the TP, as I'm sure he can afford it. Kinda can. Does Hawk know about this second expansion? He does not. And a health stone. Khadgar's health gem and a health stone. That paladin can tank for days. And the divine shield.
A player's forces are under attack.
And a flare gun, apparently. Oh, okay. Does the same thing as the mortar team flare. Is Hawks going in for a little bit of aggression? Will WarchieffRich TP? He's creeping at the red spot at the moment. The super duper item was Staff of Silence, which could actually be a pretty good item versus the human heroes. And looks like Hawk's trying to get a snipe on the Tree of Eternity. WarchieffRich gonna pull almost all of his, no, never mind, all of his Wc3 repair. Definitely don't want to lose the tier 3. As all the Ancients of War slowly on their way. As WarchieffRich TP's in and Hawk quickly TP's out. It was an okay attack. Got some wisps. Did not get the Tree of Eternity though, as the Stormhammer upgrade's on the way. And more tanks with the anti-air upgrade. Ooh. For those of you that don't know what it is, it basically lets the tanks shoot at air units. And it's a pretty good ability, might I add. As WarchieffRich gonna solo creep with the Panda, trying to get him level 5, almost gets it, 1 kill away. Level 3 Breath of Fire with level 3 Shadow Strike, and heroes will get nuked. Dropping the Gloves of Haste for the circlet. Man, that Panda has some great items. Potion of Divinity. Basically, it's an invulnerability potion for 25 seconds and Staff of Silence with the greater mana potion and a Pendant of Energy. That Panda is stacked with some items. Meanwhile, Hawk's creeping himself. Be nice to get level 5 onto the Mountain King for the level 3 Stormbolt, who does get a Book of the Dead, which can actually be a pretty good item as there's no Dreads in WarchieffRich's army composition, so nothing to dispel them, those skeletal minions. Alright, looks like WarchieffRich wants to do some pressure.
Players' forces are under attack.
Warden gonna pick up an invulnerability potion. No healing scroll. He's gonna try to siege away at these towers. If the Chimera, did get the siege upgrade, which he didn't, so never mind. Never mind. Hippogriff's running straight on in there. WarchieffRich might try to force the TP out of Hawk. Hawk's coming in from behind to defend his expansion. WarchieffRich with quite a bit of hippogriffs. Does Hawk have enough Dragon Riders? That is the question. Dragon Hawk Riders. Alright, Hawk's coming in. Dragon Hawk Riders staying back. Not sure what he's doing. And I think Hawk's gonna let this expansion go down. Yes, he is. He's gonna let it die, which means WarchieffRich is gonna take an economic advantage here. This puts Hawk down at 1 base with only 3k gold left into it.
Players' forces are under attack.
Currently 99 supply for Hawk versus 79 supply of WarchieffRich. Alright, Hawk's gonna have to make a pretty good defense here. Fight by the towers, get the tanks in a nice position, get the good ensnares, the aerial shackles. Because that is a lot of hippogriffs. With +3 attack and +2 armor, whereas Hawk is at 2-2 and still 2-0 on the tanks.
Players' forces
So Hawk's gonna have to get a pretty good fight off. Tanks going straight on in there. Staff of Silence being used by the Panda. Breath of Fire going down. Oh, and here we go. Hippogriff's going straight in there. So a lot of anti-air. Book of the Dead going down. Stormbolt going down. Level 5 onto the Mountain King. Skull Protection being used by WarchieffRich. Panda using that Potion of Divinity. And it looks like WarchieffRich will be TPing out of this as he went for a Dark Ranger as a third hero choice. A pretty late third hero who almost died, actually. Alright, more bears on the way. And more hippogriffs. So that was a pretty good hold by Hawk, who's now at 80 supply versus WarchieffRich at 78. So both players about even on supply. As we see another Tree of Life go down by WarchieffRich. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So there's still plenty of gold left in that mine. And now WarchieffRich at 3/3 upgrades, so his units are as strong as they possibly can be. And Hawk's gonna try to re-expand here. But with the Tree of Life there, he's gonna be forced to put some towers down and make sure he kills that tree before he can put the town hall. Yeah, maybe he can fit it right around here, but yeah. Hawk. Alright, we're gonna have another engagement here. As the blink was denied by the Stormbolt. Holy Light onto a Griffin. These tanks in a very nice position. So much shooting. Breath of Fire going down by the Panda. Breath of Fire does work on tanks. Keep that in mind. So much is happening here at the moment. Holy crap. Level 3 onto the Dark Raider. WarchieffRich even pulling the Fairy Dragons, and the Mountain King goes down, giving level 6 to the Panda, but the Dark Ranger goes down with the Holy Light. She is an undead unit. And I believe WarchieffRich won that fight as... yeah. There's not much those tanks can do with the Ancients of War. Mountain King gonna be resurrected at the Neutral Hero Tavern. And Hawk is gonna try to slowly tower down at that Tree of Life. And things are not looking good for him at the moment. It's currently 44 supply for Hawk versus 66 of WarchieffRich.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, those Ancients of War. It's the March of the Ancients. You ever seen like those derby races? Alright, we got Rugged going out first with the bit behind. You ever seen like one of those like old horse races? You got the announcer, and we got Bucky going in third, and then and the bear getting caught up in the middle of the race. Oh, but we have another engagement here. Aerial Shackle going down onto some hippogriffs, but there's more hippogriffs than there are Dragonhawks, and the Paladin forced to use the healing potion, but the Mountain King getting caught in a bad spot. Will he get Holy Lighted? Yes, he will. Level 3 Holy Light, pretty helpful as we see Earth, Storm, and Fire Cyclone onto the Paladin. Alright, Divine Shield gonna be used as he is surrounded. Earth, Storm, and Fire is gonna run out soon, so if the Paladin can survive for the Earth, Storm, and Fire to run out, he might be able to slip out of this. Holy Light onto the Mountain King. Oh, Divine Shield might last a while. Earthstorm and Fire's almost out. Paladin slips out, but another Cyclone onto the Mountain King, who's trying to get the surround off, but the Paladin, very wisely, does get it out, but the Mountain King, Staff of Sanctuary, will save him. Oh, but now the Paladin being caught in a bad spot. Silence going down. I'm not sure. Use the healing potion as the Warden comes in. Can he get another Divine Shield off in time? This is so close. Can he get it? He does get the Divine Shield. WarchieffRich going straight in there. Mountain King can't move until he's fully healed. And things are not looking good for Hawk. Warden's getting a little bit low. She's not level 6. No Avatar of Vengeance quite yet. In fact, the Warden's getting really low. Let's see, we'll use the healing scroll. And what can Hawk do here? There's not much he can do. The Warden goes in with the blink and the Shadow Strike, but the Paladin uses another healing potion. Oh, and the Baron blocking the Warden, but she has plenty of mana left. Staff of Sanctuary at the last second, and the Stormbolt onto the Warden. Oh, and the pass, she goes down. Level 6 on the Mountain King. That was a good pick off by Hawk, but things are still not looking good for him. WarchieffRich with the superior army at the moment. And I'm not sure what Hawk can do at the moment. He does have level 6, so his Mountain King with Avatar of Vengeance. Not Avatar of Vengeance, just Avatar. But still, I'm not sure. Stormbolt onto the Panda. Does get the silence off, but GG's called. WarchieffRich takes game number 1 in this best of 5 of the Gera Cup Finals. If you guys like this gameplay cast, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to watch me play Warcraft 3, follow me at Twitch at Thendis32, and I will catch you guys later.